Hello? Yeah, alright. So hopefully this is recording right and whatever, and right now you're looking at part of the main system that I'm building. As you can see, it has a CoolMax power supply. It's a high-end power supply, which means it sits at the bottom of the case rather than the top, and therefore it has longer cables, at least in theory. However, this particular system, which is a this particular power supply unit, which is a CoolMax V600, lied to me. It is not really a full high-end power supply, because here in the middle, if this will only stabilize, well, you can't see it properly, but you just have to take my word for it right now, because I can't be bothered to get this thing to try to work properly. But there's a splice right in the middle that I wanted to show you that I had to put in myself. You could just barely make it out at the top of the video, but when I get a proper camera, I'll show you it properly, don't worry. And that splice is really, it's not like a professional splice. A professional splice would involve soldering or using splicing devices type things, but I basically use a dual A Western Union splice. No, not quite a Western Union splice. A Western Union splice would be soldered, I think. I'm not really sure of the exact technical terms, but basically what I did is I took the wires, looped them back about 90 degrees, made them interlock like hooks, then I wrapped them around themselves. Then I did that tightly. Then I wrapped the whole thing in aluminum foil fairly tightly and carefully. Then I wrapped that in paper. Then I wrapped that in masking tape. Then I tied that together with a normal clip. So all in all, that's how I spliced together, and it would have been neater if I had just used solder and heat shrink tubing and a hair dryer type thing. I don't have a hair dryer though, not because I scoff at people that have hair dryers or anything. Hair dryers may only be about $100 or so, but I don't have a need for one. The only reason I'd use it is for MacGyverish things like shrinking heat tubing. And what really some ingenious company should do is make a hair dryer for men, a man's hair dryer, which isn't used to dry hair, but is used to dry everything else. For example, used to dry water out of a case when you spill water or tea in it and you wash it out and then want to dry it. You can use a hair dryer, but why use a woman's product when you can use a men's product? It should be a manly handheld hot air tool. That's what it should be. And it should be all manly and stuff, not like girly like all those darn hair dryers with their girliness. That's ridiculous. So anyhow, my plan for the rest of the night is to basically eat food, watch anime, and just relax. If I play any games, I'm going to record it, but I'm probably not going to play any games because my right hand is still recovering a little bit from RSI. So yeah, what I do is I use Gkong to deal with it, but I haven't been doing that much Gkong recently. Relatively speaking, I've still been going to class, but not for that week when I was walking around in like Super Saiyan mode. Yeah, I haven't been at that level for a while, so I need to get back there. And basically, I'm just gonna stop this video soon because I have a lot to say, but no, it's not the time to say it because I'm hungry, and I need to rest, and I need to make sure that I get to Gkong and have that fun, because Gkong's fun. Excuse me. Yeah, and as you can tell, I'm not really having that much fun now. I'm like bored. Yeah, but putting up this case was fun, although challenging. I really want to solder it just for the sake of soldering to get that experience. And I also had a problem with the power lead. The power lead still isn't working properly. I don't know why. I tried reversing the polarity and such. I think maybe there's a design flaw on the motherboard that you can't use both the power lead and the message lead. If that's true, then that really sucks and is really stupid. But anyhow, I'm hoping to be able to use both of them, although using just one of them would help me in a way, because right now excuse me, right now I don't know where I'm going to put the message lead. I was going to put it in one of the drive bays and create some custom enclosure, or perhaps make a lead array for the message lead. I'm not sure why I wanted to make it say maybe yeah, maybe 13 or something, or 31, which are the palindromic forms of part of my alias, Bajan 13K or K31. So anyhow, that's another story altogether. I'm just rambling on now. So if I edit it, I'll cut off all that rambling. few people watch my videos anyway, and I can understand why, because I had the misfortune of watching YouTube before the ad blocker. YouTube is pestled with ads, and it's really a pathetic place to go. I can understand why people don't really want to go to it anymore and stuff. And so I'm going to be putting stuff on my own video site, but it's going to take a while to set it up, at least until the beginning of April, more likely to like much later on in the year, maybe as late as August, before I have the video site part up. But I already have a subdomain that I can set up a little something on, and I'm going to look to get to really create a proper business out of certain stuff, because I would like to be paid for my work. And what I realize is that how shall I put it? Yeah, I have talent and it's time I get paid for it. That's the simplest way to put it. So to that end, I'm actually doing 2 or 3 projects right now. One of them is a laptop rebuild that I'm fairly confident I'm going to be paid for. The other one is a data entry job. Again, I'm confident I'm going to be paid for that. So and I've actually organized things so that they don't take up too much of my time. And the third thing I want to do is open a storefront, a general store. I've wanted to do that for a long time, but I'm not ready to getting it into action. And I don't really like to talk about my plans so much, because basically you get a lot of naysayers saying you can't do that, and on the other hand you get a lot of people saying yeah you can do that, but yeah they're not really in a place to give technical help or the type of direct support you'd want. But I appreciate the support, any form of support whatsoever. I also laugh at people who are like haters or being like, what's the word, judgmental and cynical and stuff. You know, I know it may take a while, but I'm going to tell you this: I'm going to expand so fast that I myself am going to be surprised at it, because I'm already surprised at the change. But in another way, I'm not surprised. And it goes back to what I call God-full Atheism, which is what I practice. That's what I practice instead of a religion. Basically, I don't need theology or a belief system, because I experience God directly. Just like how you experience the sun directly, I experience God directly. I think everybody does experience God at least indirectly, but in order to experience God directly, you basically just have to, you know, do that. How shall I put it? People get turned off by religion because religion is bullshit, but it's like religion comes from, if religion is bullshit, it comes from a bull. What's the bull? The bull is like meat. It's good to eat. You just have to like kill it and cook it and stuff. If you don't want to kill animals and eat them, you can always ride a bull or do something else with a bull. Bulls are useful. Bullshit is a byproduct of bulls, but you don't have to focus on bullshit, you can focus on the bulls. So similar, religion is based on cosmetology, cosmic intelligence, high science. All of the things that we take for granted in life, like the legal system and so on, come out of the same source, which would be like the Kabbalah and Moses and Hebrew and stuff like that. And so if you look at the Old Testament and New Testament, you can see a lot of things that are still done in real life, and you can see a lot of the problems with religion were known in especially the New Testament days, because Jesus himself was not religious and Jesus himself was not a Christian. Christian is a name that came up later on when people wanted to focus, and when Paul wanted to create the Roman Catholic Church, and thus allow the Catholic Church to be sort of like a parallel to the Roman Church, and basically destroy the actual movement which Jesus started. Or if you go back to the source, which Yeshua started, which was really a movement towards immortality and great power and stuff like that. If you look at the Old Testament, people outrunning horse-drawn chariots and stuff like that, that goes back to like Qigong, Tai Chi and stuff like that. But you know, now we're getting into serious business. So I'm going to stop talking about it for now, because I know most of you are probably thinking, what the hell is he talking about? And you have no idea what I'm saying. But what I'm just saying is that you don't need a belief system in order to understand God. You don't need anything except your own personal experience. And in a way, life is all about finding the answer to the meaning of life and finding which questions to ask. So if you're not asking questions and finding answers, then you're not really living. You're just like a zombie or a vampire or a werewolf or some other low-level beast. Not a good and great ancestor ancient vampire like Celeste or whatever in Stuikome, or like Vampire Hunter D was really a vampire or dampeel or whatever. But you're not cool like that. You're not even cool like the cooler Draculas. You're like, you know, pathetic like those things that run about aimlessly, that have no names and are just driven by desires. So don't be like that. Make a name for yourself. Drive yourself by will and not by your own will, and not by desires and things that are being programmed by society, and basically kick some ass and name some names. And that's just about all I have to say. I think I'll just upload this without any editing. I'll come back later to and do probably the proper thing. But yeah, I'm back online, so you can look for more videos from me coming up next weekend, because this weekend is practically over. I have to work this week, so next weekend we'll see what I come up with. Alright, later.